In that dim room, she realized the shadows weren't still. They were watching her. People always say the internet made life easier, faster ways to shop, meet people, find work. But the truth is, it also created doors we never should have opened. Doors where the wrong person could be waiting on the other side. Doors that looked harmless until someone stepped through and never came back out. I first learned about the Craigslist killings while working as a junior producer on a crime podcast. Day after day, I sat in a cramped office, scrubbing through hours of interviews, 9/11 calls, police reports. You'd think after a year in true crime, nothing would surprise me anymore. But this one did, because every victim, every suspect, every close call, they all started with the same thing: a simple ad, a listing, a message, something so ordinary, so easy to overlook. The first story that hit me was about a young woman named Danielle, 23, college senior, trying to make rent. She'd posted an ad offering housekeeping services. Nothing shady, nothing suggestive, just $40 per hour, light cleaning, flexible hours. She told her roommate she'd be back by 8. She even left a half-finished iced coffee on her desk, still cold when police found it the next day. The man who answered her ad seemed normal enough. He gave a full name, fake, but she didn't know that. He said he lived 15 minutes away. Security building. Safe area. When Danielle knocked, there was a long pause, the kind that makes your stomach tighten because something in the air shifts. When the door opened, the hallway camera caught only a sliver of the man's shoulder before he ushered her inside. Less than 15 seconds. That's all anyone ever saw. Her disappearance was reported within hours, but the case stalled. No fingerprints, no forced entry, no digital footprint except the Craigslist email routed through 2 proxy servers. Whoever he was, he'd planned it. A ghost with perfect timing. Her mother's voice cracked during the interview I listened to. She said Danielle wasn't reckless. She was responsible. She said the world always punishes girls like her for trying to survive. I remember staring at the waveform on my screen, unable to keep editing. Because the worst part wasn't that Danielle trusted the wrong person. It was that she didn't even think it was a dangerous situation. It felt routine, familiar, harmless. Another story came from a man named Chris, one of the few who actually survived. He'd been selling an old guitar, vintage, worth a couple $100. The buyer was friendly over email, asked normal questions, even talked about music. Chris agreed to meet in a parking lot behind a strip mall. Public enough, safe enough. Except when he got there, the lot was empty, except for a rust-colored sedan idling with its lights off. His stomach twisted. He almost drove away, but then he saw a silhouette in the driver's seat, head tipped down like they were checking their phone. He told himself not to be paranoid. He got out of his car, guitar case in hand. The man stepped out too. Thin, hoodie, face shadowed by the brim of a cap. "You Chris?" he asked. Chris nodded. "You want to take a look?" The guy didn't answer. He just shifted his weight, one hand sliding into his pocket. Something about the movement froze Chris in place, a pressure in his chest. Not fear. Instinct. He turned. Just turned. Started walking back to his car without explanation. Behind him, the man shouted, "Hey, come back!" Chris kept walking, didn't look back, didn't speed up, didn't breathe. When he reached his door, he heard footsteps, soft, quick, closing the distance. He slammed himself into the driver's seat and hit lock. The man reached the window and tried the handle. When it didn't open, he stepped back, staring through the glass with this blank, calculated expression. Then he lifted his shirt and revealed a gun tucked into his waistband. He didn't point it. He didn't say a word. He just wanted Chris to know. Chris peeled out of the lot, tires screaming. The man never chased him. He didn't need to. He'd already gotten what he wanted, the fear. A detective later told Chris he probably interrupted the guy's pattern. Most killers don't escalate instantly. They watch, they evaluate, they wait for the moment when the victim commits. Chris hadn't committed. Something in him recognized wrongness. Something in him refused to step fully into the trap. That story stuck with me because of one detail, the guitar case. Chris still keeps it. He says he never plays it now. Says when he looks at it, all he feels is the weight of the moment he almost died. But the case that haunted me most, the one that felt like it reached through the speakers and grabbed my throat, was about a man named Aaron. He wasn't selling anything. He wasn't buying anything. He was offering help. He posted an ad saying he'd drive seniors to doctor appointments for free. Said he had a reliable car. Said he wanted to give back to the community because his own grandfather had passed the year before. The person who contacted him pretended to be an elderly woman's daughter. She said her mother needed a ride early the next morning before sunrise. Aaron said yes without hesitation. Kindness was his default mode. Everyone who knew him said that. He arrived at the address. A quiet home, lights off, curtains drawn. He texted, "Here," and waited. When the door opened, it wasn't an elderly woman who came out. It was a tall figure in a dark coat, carrying a duffel bag. "My mother's not feeling well," the person said. "She's inside. Can I put her things in the trunk?" Aaron nodded. Why wouldn't he? The trunk popped open. The figure approached. That's where the trail goes cold. No camera, no witness, no neighbor awake to hear the struggle. Aaron's car was found 8 days later on a forest road an hour outside the city. His wallet was still inside. His phone was gone. The car seat was pushed back farther than he ever used it. And one detail chilled investigators. The passenger seatbelt was buckled tightly, as if someone had strapped something or someone in place. I remember sitting alone in the studio long after midnight, listening to the detective describe the scene. His voice was steady until he reached the part about Aaron's family. Then it dropped, softened, like he needed to shield them from the truth even now. "People think killers always look evil," he said, "that they stand out. They don't. Most of them are just normal. They walk beside you. They hold doors open. They ask polite questions. The mask only drops when they choose." That line stayed with me because people still use Craigslist, still meet strangers online, still assume the world isn't that dark. But every ad, every message, every arrangement with a stranger is a gamble, a moment where trust meets risk, a moment where someone with the wrong intentions might be watching, waiting, planning, and what scares me most isn't the killers themselves. It's how easily any of us could end up at the wrong door, the wrong parking lot, the wrong quiet house at dawn. All it takes is one ad, one person, one moment where kindness feels safer than caution. And you never see the danger coming.